What's up, everybody? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a random haul video. So there was a little bit of a space in between some other comic book channels and decided to go live like I did yesterday with some of the pickups that I had. And got a little bit of a review on a book that I'm kind of a little late to the game with, but nevertheless, better late than never. Don't know if anybody will be joining me. Hopefully somebody will be, but if not, you can catch it later. Now, before I forget, be sure to check out my giveaway announcement video. For 200 subscribers, you're going to have a choice of three comic books, choice one of three. And all subscribers, all you have to do is subscribe. All the subscribers are going to be put into the randomizer, and then the person that gets number one will get the choice of one of three books. And so be sure to check out my other video and all that. Please hit the like and the subscribe button to this video as well. So with all that being said, I did pick up Detective Comics 1000, the 1930s cover. And so like you might have seen if you've watched my other videos, that like to pick up these different decades of Detective Comics, and the goal is to get the artist to sign each one of them. So got a few of them done that way. We'll see how things pan out the rest of the way. Got some Uncanny X-Men goodness here with a Neil Adams issue 56. I think this is the first living Pharaoh. It's tied to Havoc, who is Cyclops' brother, but got that in the mail. This is one of those comics that had to watch a lot of times, just waiting for the right price, just trying to be a little patient. Didn't want to pay more than a certain amount for, and finally was able to get it on the cheap and knock that number of needed X-Men down one more. So that old comic smell, hi ho, how is it going? And I would imagine that this comic book has that old comic book smell. That is one of the good things about the old comic books. They didn't really hold up all that well, but there's just a certain smell to them. So anyway, we got another Uncanny X-Men number 48. Little Cyclops and Jean Grey goodness. The interesting thing with Jonathan Hickman's run that Jean Grey's going back to this outfit. Not that I'm opposed to it, mind you, but it is interesting nevertheless. Bake the Snake, what's shaking bacon down in the Florida? Hopefully y'all will not get some of the rain that we're supposed to get up here in Mississippi tomorrow, and maybe get out to visit your local comic shop or go on the hunt. Back in the day, like anybody that was raised in the 80s or 90s, I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. As a matter of fact, and I showed it in one of my other videos, when I went to Memphis Comic Expo this year, I got Guy Gilcrest to sign. So much for that, Bake. But yeah, I got Guy. Did I spoil it? I shouldn't have spoiled it. But I got Guy Gilchrist, who did the artistry for all of Jim Henson's stuff at Babies back in the day. And he also is the one that drew the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I helped him on one of his banners around his table. He said, man, what kind of character you like? Who's your favorite? And I said, well, I really like Michelangelo. So he did me a Michelangelo. I'm not sure if I could swing this camera around or not, but I'm actually looking straight at it and got a picture of him and me holding that. So that was pretty cool. So, but as far as IDW's run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, kind of late to the game, but couldn't pass up the issue number 100, one of that Kevin Eastman did. And so it was a good story, sad ending. It kind of felt like I was turning to the end of the book and saying, Okay, well, what about the rest of it? So I was kind of come late to the game, but decided to pick that up. This is one I had to do a little hunting for, and that is The Rise of Kylo Ren, #2. I don't know if anybody else has been picking this series up, but it's pretty good. And the amazing thing about this is that in this issue, we see some Luke action. If you had a problem with Last Jedi and thinking that Luke was really lame, we figured that Luke was going to come in there and kick butt, take names, and just take the whole order down by just waving his hand a couple of times. And you were disappointed with The Last Jedi, then you'll really like The Rise of Kylo Ren, or it might just make you madder at Last Jedi and Ryan Johnson. Either way, it was a good story, showed Luke how he should have been, kicking butt, taking names, and kind of the fall of and the backstory of Ben Solo. Got New Mutants, #5. This is some good stuff. New Mutants is one of my more like probably the third favorite title of the X titles, with X-Men and X-Force being the other two. I wanted to get the Wolverine fighting the Hellfire Club version of this, but the local LCS didn't have it. But nevertheless, it was a good story. Reminds me of New Mutants back in the Bill Sienkiewicz days. Just some kids, some buddies having a good time and having some wacky adventures. And so it's really reminiscent of that. Hickman does this as well. So let me see. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, been picking up a lot more indies lately, and when I say indies, I'm counting Image Comics too, even though that's only indie-ish. I've been picking up some more indies lately, and one of the ones that I picked up, or I've been hearing some good stuff about, and so I went to a local LCS, and they had a whole bunch of back issues of this still on the shelf, and picked them all up, issues 1 through 5. Some of these are, I think the #1's like the 6th print. Once and Future. Back in the day, I did Magic, Dungeons and Dragons, and all that fantasy stuff. Always was a big Lord of the Rings fan. And so I said, man, this is kind of a neat idea. And so really, really liked it. So I don't think it was overhyped. You hadn't seen that white cover, babe? This one? This is the 6th print. 6th print of it. So obviously pretty popular comic. Sometimes you hear all the hype online, you hear the reviews, you read the reviews, and you go, it wasn't all that great. But I really liked it. I think there was just enough of backstory. The speed of the story was done well. Sometimes the stories can go like way too fast, and you go, what the heck just happened? And then on the alternative, they can go so slow. You're just trying to get me to buy 100 issues of a story that should have been crammed into 10. Which, by the way, I think is what Tom King done wrong on Batman. Everybody hates on Tom King's Batman run, and to each their own. But I think the main thing was he had a story that spanned across 80 issues, 80-something issues? Spanned across 80-something issues, could have been cramped into 10, been a good story, and went on about their business. But he drug it out, and milked that cow as long as the Batman fans would let the cow be milked, and soon enough, you had all the haters. So, but I think that's what he did wrong. But Once and Future doesn't do that, and the art's pretty good. The story is well told, and I think it's just about to get to the good stuff. He finally goes back to the pool. Hope this is not a spoiler, but he goes back to the pool and asks for Excalibur, and it comes up at the end of issue #5. Not this guy. This is the bad guy who is connected with the other guy. But so that as to not to spoil this, if you have not read it, go out and pick it up. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. But that is my take on Once and Future. Well, guys, really appreciate you joining the chat tonight. And for those of you who will watch it at some other time, after all this is over, thank you for watching. In either case, I hope that you will subscribe to the channel and also smash that like button. And remember that we do have the subscriber 200 subscriber challenge. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, that's all you got to do to enter it is to subscribe to the channel. Pretty easy, right? You will be randomized for a choice of one of three different books. Check out my giveaway video to see what those books are. Until next time, keep reading, keep collecting. Till next time.